Honduras, Guatemala, and they've all crossed the border. And if they can cross, anybody can cross. And I'm here today to ask you, do you feel safe?
What started as a joke has received global notice. Osama bin Laden may long be fish food, but the mere mention of his name and the sight of that face is enough to send even the most sober of partisans into something of a rage. The stunt was conducted to prove a point, but was anything truly proven? And aside from that moment, what else along the border was an investigator able to uncover? Welcome to MidPoint, the man behind the mask, president of Project Veritas, and termed a guerrilla documentarian by some. James O'Keefe joins us today. James, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, it's great to be with you.
James, do you recoil a little bit when you hear and read certain people who are calling this nothing more than a stunt?
It's the truest form of journalism there is, showing people instead of reading off a list of statistics or reading out of a policy manual about immigration and what it means. We're visually showing people and demonstrating how easy it is to get across the border. And many reporters throughout the 20th century have won all types of awards for doing the same thing. So I think we're getting a discussion started, and as evidenced by the fact that I'm even on your show and the fact that CNN played the clip and U.S. News and World Report showed the video, people are talking, which is good.
What did you prove?
Well, we proved that a terrorist, the world's most notorious terrorist, could cross from Mexico into the United States, and there would be no federal Border Patrol agents anywhere around. We proved that politicians are lying to you, they're deceiving you. The one thing that I don't do is provide solutions about what we need to do to fix the problem. My only point is that there is a problem, and we're showing millions of people who never have been to this area what the problem is.
On condition of anonymity, a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol official spoke to the Daily Mail online, talked about the agency's forces have reached the breaking point, and I quote, "We can't be everywhere at once. This is typical of what you'll find in Texas." Now, I know that you've been shooting an awful lot of video, a lot of film there along the Texas border. Is this typical of what you would find there, that there was simply nobody there for a long space of time?
The West Texas Hudspeth County has 78 miles of border, and we traversed a distance of that. And the Rio Grande is very small. It's actually 98 miles. I'm sorry. The Rio Grande is very small river at that point, and we walked alongside it. And we drove for miles, walked for miles, and didn't see anyone around us. And a lot of drug traffickers traverse that river there. Human traffickers traverse that river. So the local sheriff told us that there just isn't anyone on the border. They're all on Interstate 10, and it's not necessarily the federal agents' fault. It's the people in Washington who do not give them orders to secure the border. So we think it is the status quo, and I'd be happy to go down there again and do it multiple times if that's what I need to do to open people's eyes.
All right, now let me get right to that then. Former Border Patrol agent Hipólito Acosta was on America's Forum yesterday with you, and he called your border crossing a stunt worthy of Saturday Night Live, repeating what he said. He says what your video shows wasn't truthful because viewers couldn't see your police escort. And then I'd like you to hear this as well, our audience to hear this. Following up what you just said here, he issued this challenge. Let's hear it.
I feel very confident the Border Patrol knew that you were in that particular area, and I would almost feel confident that Sheriff West actually escorted you to the border area, and the Border Patrol agents, for the most part, all of them, probably know that you were being escorted by a sheriff. So I think that, the reality is I think it would have been good if you made a report by going down to Chihuahua City and coming up along the Mexican side and have made entry. That would have been a truthful report. And actually, I'm giving you a personal invitation to go with me, and we can come up from Chihuahua City, or even better yet, if we want to expose the vulnerabilities, we need to go to ground zero of human smuggling, which is Tecunuman, Guatemala, and we can start from there, because I can guarantee you, Mr. O'Keefe, you wouldn't make it from Chihuahua City to the border.
James, you've heard that now, so has our audience. Would you like to take him up on his personal invitation?
Sure. And let me just say that I'm really grateful that the gentleman responded to our video. I'm happy that we're starting this conversation. This is precisely what Project Veritas' mission is to get people discussing this is information that we've revealed. This is real information. What I showed you is true. Our facts are solid. We crossed the border, and there were no federal border patrol agents. That is a fact. It is an undeniable fact. And you know what? I would like to ask him, what is the truth? Is the truth that the border is secure? Is that the truth? Can you show me video that the border is secure? Because the facts are that there are 12 million illegal people in the United States. The facts are people smuggle children across where we cross. The facts are there's $30 million of cocaine and heroin in this room that the sheriff showed me. Those are the facts. So what is the truth? Is the truth that the border is secure? Because I'm trying to get to the truth here. Now, if you people want to go to Mexico, I'm happy to go to Mexico. I'm a citizen journalist. Maybe the gentleman should invite people from CNN and other network news agencies to leave their offices and go down to Mexico. We need more journalists going down there and showing people the truth. But my job is to show people the reality of things, and I think we did that. I think maybe I need to do more of that, but it's a start. We need to go down there and show people the fence, the lack of a fence, show people that people can cross that little river, and show people the truth. And I think the truth is far away from the border being secure.
Did you have a police escort as he charged?
There was West Hudspeth County Sheriff Arvin West was our source. We did some reporting and talked to him, and he was in the area. But Arvin West is not securing our border. He doesn't really have the jurisdiction to arrest immigrants or illegal aliens. He only has 12 deputies on staff. He said he needed 75 if he really wanted to secure the border. So the notion that the sheriff's department is somehow responsible for national security is, I'd like to ask him if that's what he believes. But he was in the area, but I'll tell you who wasn't in the area. That was Federal Border Patrol. And at one point, we actually, an hour or two later, we actually spotted a white pickup Border Patrol truck a couple miles away, and we actually drove towards them with my camera, and they drove away. So I'm trying to show the truth here, which is that there's no Federal Border Patrol agents, and I'm being attacked for it. I'm happy I'm being attacked because apparently it's getting the conversation started.
Would you have done anything different now, noting full well that it has been called a stunt and you have people like this coming after you? What would you have done differently in order to make the point, or would you not have done anything different?
I would have done nothing different. I am so happy with the outcome of this video. I'm so happy that CNN is showing images from the border. I'm happy that Laura Ingraham is telling her million listeners about I'm happy that the USA Today just did a study where they're showing people images and visuals that they haven't seen. My mission at Project Veritas is very simple. It's to let the American people make their own decisions. I'm not shoving narratives down your throat. Maybe unlike some of your other people that you've talked to, they want to tell you what to believe. I have no interest in advocating policy solutions. My only interest is in showing people things down there that they have not seen. This video accomplished that in spades. It was the most viral video in politics on Monday. It has gone global. People are talking and discussing and debating those catwalk bridges, that lack of a fence. We need more of that in our democratic republic. We need more journalists who are muckrakers, who show people things. And my hope is that I will take your guest up on his challenge. And my hope is that, people do more of this. And if I am the only one, or we are the only ones doing it, then I'll rise to that challenge.
Would you take him also up on the challenge and also the offer to go to Mexico?
I would. I do. I will be honest with you. I felt very scared down there. It is a war zone. I think the lack of protection makes it a war zone. In the video, you see me kind of panting. That's because I'm literally standing a mile away from potential drug cartels, and it's a scary area. But if I need to go to Mexico, if I'm the only one apparently in the country, that I'm sure there are other reporters who have done so, but if it's up to me to do that, but I also think it's a little bit of a non sequitur to say that it's difficult to get to the Mexican side of the Rio Grande. Therefore, what does our video prove? 12 million people are in this country who have crossed the Rio Grande. Maybe there would be more if it was more difficult to get from Guatemala. But the bottom line is, it is easy to cross that river, and we demonstrated that. So I don't quite understand the need to kind of show people the journey from South America to that border.
I only have a couple of minutes left here. Do you think perhaps wearing the rubber Osama bin Laden mask may have cheapened the effort a little bit and might have been the reason why some people call it a stunt?
No, I don't think it cheapened it at all. If anything, it got people to watch the video and show the video. I mean, I've seen a lot of different tools in the reporter handbook. I saw Anderson Cooper swim with crocodile sharks with a GoPro camera last week on 60 Minutes. You know, and the guy who catches the predators on NBC News, you know, he certainly uses a variety of arsenal and, you know, techniques to get the story. But the fact is that this is a very serious issue. And there have been, and there will be, people around the world who sneak across that border with bad intentions. And they may not be wearing a mask. They may actually be the real deal. And I didn't want to stereotype anyone. I didn't want to, you know, just pose as a Muslim. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to demonstrate that this is the world's most notorious terrorist. And it's so obviously true that this guy is Osama bin Laden. I wanted to illustrate something, just like we illustrated the fact that I could get offered Eric Holder's ballot. And that has prompted a worldwide debate. That's the role of a journalist in America.
I got only 30 seconds left. What's your next project?
We don't discuss the specifics because we have undercover people in the field, and I wouldn't want to put their lives in jeopardy or risk the operation. But we're focusing a lot on election fraud, on voter fraud, and we're focusing on holding our public officials accountable because, like they did down there, they say one thing, they do another. They say the border is secure, it's not. So I'm focusing on outraging the voters, the people that they vote for, and educating people about what their representatives actually believe in their hearts versus what they say. And with the midterms coming up, very important elections coming up in this country, it's important to show people the truth about what our elected representatives believe.
James O'Keefe, thanks so much for the time. Stick around because we'll definitely stay in touch with you and find out what happens next. We thank you.
Thank you.
All right, later on this hour, a former American military specialist who spent time trying to save Iraq once before now takes stage as our radio talker. It's on MidPoint.